For me, final decision has not been made.
State Senator John Brooks of Seaford says he's not yet ready to support the marijuana legalization bill. Brooks says he and other Democrats who represent suburban areas still have questions about safety.
In every state that expanded the use has seen an increase in car accidents. I think we all recognize that is a problem. How do you detect who is driving under the influence? That's a big concern.
Historically, it's been impossible for law enforcement to accurately and fairly test drivers for marijuana use.
Prominent Long Island defense attorney Tony LaPinta says devices to do that are still in the testing phase.
Technology is getting there. There's a few companies that have developed machines that are being tested right now, and New York is on the threshold of doing that. But absent that type of particularized machinery, this is a big problem for law enforcement.
The bill was expected to include a provision giving counties the ability to opt out of the law. Instead, that right was given to towns and villages. While they couldn't prohibit residents from using marijuana, they could prohibit the sale of marijuana in their municipality. That suddenly gave all 13 towns on Long Island a surprise dilemma.
It wasn't a surprise to us.
Smithtown Town Supervisor Ed Wareheim says he's waiting for more details of the bill to come out, but admits that opting out of the law and turning away the tax revenues that comes with it is a tricky decision.
All townships, we're not going to look a gift horse in the mouth if there's some revenue to be made. What do you do if we say no and right across the border they say yes and they're getting funding, we're not?
Sales tax revenues are estimated to be $350 million a year. Doug Geed, News 12 Long Island.
This time of year, grape juice and wine is not just an okay thing to have, it's a must.
The Seders may be smaller again this year because of the pandemic, but the 4 cups must still be filled.
Every single person sitting at the Seder table both nights is required to drink 4 cups of wine or grape juice if you're a teetotaler or underage.
And there is no bigger name in the kosher grape juice space than Kedem. Filling a need, filling bottles, filling glasses since 1948. With Passover this weekend, we got a tour of the Bayonne bottling plant, courtesy of grape enthusiast and executive vice president of marketing, Jay Buchsbaum.
How many cases do you turn out on a daily basis?
We can actually produce here between 12 and 15,000 on a daily basis if necessary. Now, we don't do that all year long, but certainly this time of year is when it's really rocking.
And not just grape juice, but Kedem wine, Rashi wine, even champagne. It all starts at the vineyard in the Finger Lakes. The grapes are then crushed in Marlborough, New York, filtered, and the juice is taken via tanker to Bayonne, where it's pumped into huge holding tanks, then bottled, capped, and boxed up. And watching it, well, let's call that a kosher experience.
All right, now that all this grape juice is bottled and boxed up, where's it going? It's going to places like Mexico, Canada, Israel, and the UK.
And if you think that operation's impressive, sister company Keiko is right across the street. The leading kosher food distributors in the U.S., right here in New Jersey.
It's 280,000 square feet, 25,000 pallet slots.
5,000 different items, and not just your grandmother's gefilte fish or Manischewitz matzah, though they have that too.
We bring in products from Italy, we bring in products from Brooklyn.
Gluten-free galgal crackers. That's a seaweed snack from South Korea. Macaroons from Pennsylvania.
And one of their newest products, Tuscanini tomato paste.
These products will wind up in supermarket shelves all over the country.
Harold Weiss is chief sales officer.
Everything you see here will go to 30 different countries.
We have actually the heart and railroads of a 70-year-old company, but the spirit and jump of a startup. We're always looking for that new next big thing.
For VP Charles Herzog, that means always looking to innovate while always remembering his roots. His family has been making wine for 9 generations. Baron Herzog was named after the family patriarch.
The Herzog name, we are actually humbled by what it means. I know, some might think that the Herzog is this like legacy Rothschild name, but we don't look at it like that. We look at it as a responsibility to bring kosher wine and grape juice to the Jewish table.
For the past week around the country and here at home, the cry to stop Asian hate gets louder by the day. Well, ralliers here tonight in Coney Island say acts of hate will not be tolerated. Now, ralliers of all races showing up here today with banners and signs stating cancel Asian hate and racism is a virus. Now, today, ralliers stand together in solidarity condemning anti-Asian hate and sharing their feelings that many say they are experiencing following shootings at 3 spas in Atlanta over a week ago. Many who are speaking out say some in the Asian American Pacific Islanders community are fearful to even travel, not knowing what might happen when they walk outside their doors. Now, I spoke with one woman who says she's exhausted of seeing acts of hate against her community, but says she will continue to use her voice to fight for people from all different backgrounds.
Today I feel so much anger right now, but you know what? I'm speaking out. I'm trying to raise a voice. I'm trying to be here for not only Asian Americans, but for the Black community. There's just a lot of work we need to get done, and I want to speak as much as possible.
A powerful message there tonight. And Phil, have we seen any progress recently from local authorities in trying to crack down on these acts of hate that we've been seeing across the city?
Yeah, Amanda, the NYPD Asian Hate Crimes Task Force announced earlier today that they are going to continue their efforts with enforcement to combat this issue. Amanda?
Phil, thank you for that report.
Culture.
Hi, News 12. I just won The Voice.
Community.
The first shot went into the arm of Port Washington nurse Sandra Lindsay.
Connections.
Seems like so much fun.
It was pretty hectic.
Discover News 12 New York.
Hey, look, we're happy, right?
A new way to see the best of News 12's local channels from across the tri-state area, all in one place. Now streaming 24/7 on your favorite devices. Discover News 12 New York today.
How long has it been since you can say you've done something as fun as this? Woo!
Ziplining, mini golf, an arcade, and so much more fun that's been sorely missed in Chester this past year.
It's been a roller coaster ride, so we're ready for the real roller coaster to be running.
And now it will as of next Friday, since the state has given arcades and amusement parks like the Castle Fun Center the green light to reopen.
We're ready to get back to having fun here, seeing the kids come in and enjoy themselves, especially after everybody's been home for so long.
Long enough that the struggling business thought it'd have to close for good last year, while other businesses and industries, except theirs, were allowed to reopen.
Press the button to start the game.
Months later, they're putting the pandemic hardships aside and getting back to the fun and business, albeit differently than when they first started nearly 30 years ago.
Come on over and let's have a party. So that's where I would put it, and welcome back.
In Chester, Blaze Gomez, News 12.
A couple of weeks ago, he says he was just a chef at New York Presbyterian Hospital. Now, thanks to an impromptu performance for News 12, he's an overnight internet sensation. Meet 36-year-old Milton Sams, a proud Jamaican American who's been wowing hospital patients for years with his soulful cooking. Now his soulful singing, a rich mix of rhythm and blues and gospel, is wowing internet audiences worldwide. After Sam sang for me and News 12 photojournalist Lori Goliath on Wentworth Street a couple of weeks ago, we posted the video on news12.com, then the singing chef put it on TikTok, and it quickly went viral.
Hey Frank and Lori, I'm always with you, yeah, and make you feel my love.
The singing chef hoping to get his own show on Netflix or HBO so he can open a rec center and help young people. There's a lot more on the menu, so stay tuned to News 12. For now, in Bridgeport, Frank Recchia, News 12 Connecticut.
Thank you.
Summer camp season is right around the corner, and the online marketplace Sawyer is making it easier for parents to browse hundreds of summer camps on its one-stop shop platform.
We work directly with children's activities providers and connect parents with them to book
classroom camps for their kids.
Parents can book camps from 1 week to the entire summer on the site, which features camp options like art, STEM, and theater, to name a few. And after months of staying indoors due to the pandemic, the site is now seeing an increased demand as parents look to get their kids back outdoors.
What we're seeing right now is a really strong resurgence to signing for parents wanting those activities for their kids and really booking at higher levels than we've seen since the pandemic began. So really think that there's a ton of demand for parents wanting to have their kids in person.
Treasure Trunk Theater is one of the camps listed on the site. And as they prepare for the upcoming season, co-founder Elisa Popko says they're doing it safely.
We have in our lesson plan timeline for our teachers when to sanitize multiple times throughout the day. We are not doing shared supplies, a lot of additional precautions because we're going to be outside in public parks.
Sawyer co-founder Stephanie Choi says the site offers not only in-person camps, but virtual options as well. She says now is a good time to start thinking about which camp you want to enroll your child in before they book up.
30% of camps actually sell out 2 to 3 months in advance. If you're more interested in an online class, those don't book up quite as fast. Usually about a month in advance.
Sawyer is free of cost and parents can sign up for camps and book with a provider directly through the site.
Now, with more people getting vaccinated against coronavirus, more families may be planning to reunite for upcoming holiday gatherings like Passover and Easter. News 12's Kevin Vesey has that story.
Well, there's a lot of hope and optimism right now among members of Long Island's Jewish community as we head into Passover. In fact, the rabbi here at this temple in Dix Hills tells me the holiday, which starts tomorrow, will be the first get-together for some families in more than a year. That's because as more people, especially seniors, get vaccinated, they're becoming more comfortable being around their relatives. Many people will still be taking safety precautions. Some will even hold their seders outside with physically distanced tables. But the rabbi says this year's celebrations will be a significant step in the right direction.
People are way more relaxed than they were last Passover, for sure. We were in lockdown. But even from a couple of months ago, even from 6 weeks ago, there's been a cosmic shift, a quantum shift, I should say, that people are just more eager to come out and to go to family members.
And here at the High Center in Dix Hills, there will also be a public Seder, which is another tradition that was put on hold last year. Though this time around, as you might have guessed, the tables will be spread 6 feet apart. In Dix Hills, Kevin Vesey, News 12, Long Island.
With vaccines being distributed and simple PPE like masks and sanitizers more easily accessible, we've adjusted to the pandemic. But medical professionals say COVID is not gone yet, and you still need to keep vigilant.
It's been lab tested, 99.9% effective.
The iHome Power UVC Pro is a small electronic sanitizer for your smartphone that's built into an alarm clock with a Bluetooth speaker. Place it by your bedside, and then you can put your smartphone inside. There's even a USB charging port if you need it. 12 powerful ultraviolet C lamps inside zap bacteria and viruses on your phone or other small device, even a face mask. It's safe for just about all electronics and sanitizes in 180 seconds.
Really, the beauty about it is it's fully safe. If you open it while it's working, it'll shut off.
Now, the iHome Time Boost clock won't sanitize your phone, but it will keep it close at hand and charged up quickly with up to 10 watts of wireless power.
So it'll charge it faster than regular wireless charge.
The Time Boost builds on iHome's experience of small electronics and clocks, but adds in the powerful Qi charging that most newer mobile devices accept. It also can charge a second device with a USB cord if needed, and looks great just about anywhere.
Perfect for a home office or actual office. It'll keep all your devices charged. It'll keep it handy right next to you. It's small, so it won't take up a lot of space on any desk.
I'm Andrew Enger, and that's your download.
And both iHome alarm clocks will run you about $80. Learn more over on news12.com under numbers and links.
Well, the Ocean County Sheriff is hoping to show support for law enforcement officers throughout the county in a symbolic way. Not everybody's on board, though. News 12 New Jersey's Erica Such with that story.
county commissioners.
Ocean County Sheriff Michael Mastronardi hoping to add a blue tribute down Hooper Avenue in front of the county courthouse and administration building in Toms River. The sheriff hoping to paint a blue line down the street to show appreciation for law enforcement officers in the county.
It's more important what it means to the officers that come to court, and I think it means a lot that they know that the county commissioners, Commissioner Quinn and the rest of the freeholders and commissioners, that they respect them as long as they do their job and be accountable.
Accountability, Sheriff Mastronardi says, is so important in today's climate.
The police chiefs in Ocean County and throughout the state of New Jersey work very hard with training, with making their people accountable, their officers, men and women throughout the state. And the key is treating people with respect.
We asked you, the News 12 viewer, how you feel about a blue line being painted right down Hooper Avenue here in Toms River. This is what you had to say on Twitter.
Nets Fan 3 said, I do support all police and fire officers, but these types of actions are really meaningless. Rare Amphibian said, not a good idea. It's a tone-deaf statement at a time of concerns around police reforms. By the way, this is not meant to disparage OC or local police. Here are some of the other responses.
Everybody has an opinion as far as just a symbolic thing to support law enforcement.
Sheriff Mastronardi says the plans for the blue line would have to be approved by county engineering. In Toms River, Erica Such, News 12, New Jersey.
And there's something slimy going on in Hoboken. You heard that right, slimy. Worms are taking over a section of the sidewalk and social media for that matter. News 12 New Jersey's Marcy Rubin explains this worm-nado that is stirring up the mile-square city.
I've never seen them in such a quantity. Yeah, that's disgusting.
That is certainly one word for what's happening in Hoboken, where hundreds of worms, some still alive, many not, are spread out on Sinatra Drive near Maxwell Place, forcing many a pedestrian, scooter, and dog walker to navigate around the creepy crawly mess. They're scattered about now, but check out the pictures snapped as they made this formation after recent rain. Social media jumping all over this one, dubbing it a worm tornado or worm-nado.
That looks like something out of like a horror film.
It certainly is a combo of creeped out and curious. We could not get a worm expert on camera today, but social media science class seems to think while the shape is rare, worms often get lost finding their way back into soil after it rains and apparently form herds as they travel. And in this case, they may have been following each other in circles, looking for their way home when these pictures were taken. Stepping carefully in Hoboken, Marcy Rubin, News 12, New Jersey.
And coincidentally, this weekend's moon is called a worm moon. That's because earthworms begin to appear as the soil warms in the springtime.
Last Friday evening, cameras captured the moment Earl Kelman collapsed on the gym floor at Titan Fitness in Haverstraw as he suffered a heart attack.
Luckily for Earl, not only are the two gym owners first responders, but also two other members that were here in the gym that day. All four of them worked together to save his life.
We found the man, 66 years old, unconscious. We began CPR. While giving directions, call 911 and get an AED machine.
Nathalia Bosquet is one of the owners and also a nurse by trade. She says they all took turns performing CPR chest compressions and used the AED to shock his heart, reviving his pulse by the time paramedics arrived.
Could have died. He could have had brain damage. He could have had anything else, and he is alive and well, and we couldn't ask for a better way.
We also spoke with Earl, who says he's thankful his fitness family came to his rescue.
Do you credit the people here at Titan Fitness for saving your life?
100%. 100% I credit them for saving my life.
God put us together.
Yes, not losing any confidence whatsoever, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm very grateful, very grateful.
All thanks to the heroic actions of strangers.
If I'd have been any place else, been home, I might not be here now.
In Haverstraw, Beth Cefalu, News 12.